In this final part of the tutorial, I will show you how to find the University Library info guides for the disciplines at Mason and get the name and contact information of your discipline's liaison librarian. After that, you will gather some unemployment data and earnings data for people who majored in your discipline. I'm back on the exercise worksheet and I'm going to select the Library Info Guide link to go to the discipline-specific resource collections you will need for your authoritative sources essay. This is the Info Guide page of the George Mason Library. You can search the Info Guide for your discipline or browse by subject. I'm going to do a search by typing philosophy into the search dialog box. The philosophy guide is at the top of the list, so I'm going to select it. You are looking at a typical info guide page for an academic discipline at Mason. Each info guide has modules of information on the page and tabs at the top. Browse through your info guide looking for the genres or types of sources that are used in your discipline. If I look at the tabs at the top of this philosophy page, I see that there are databases, books, reference sources, web resources, and organizations. Let's take a look at what's in some of these tabs. If I choose the Database tab, I am taken to the list of databases our library indexes for philosophy majors. But as I scan through this list, I see that there are also databases for religious studies. This is the second time I've seen these two disciplines included in the same category. The other was the CIP. So I can probably assume that they share some important disciplinary conventions. I do see one database, Philosopher's Index, that is specific to philosophy only, so I will write that down on my worksheet. Next, I will check out the Reference tab. I see a range of books that look like specialized encyclopedias. These might be useful sources in the field, so I will list a few on my worksheet. The next tab is for web resources. I see that there are several, but since I'm new to philosophy, I don't know which ones are more credible than others. But I will list web resources as one of my genres, and then list a few resources I can investigate later. Finally, I will check out the Organization tab. I see that there are many professional and academic organizations for people who study philosophy. I will note organizations on my worksheet as a genre and then list a few examples. My last step is to write down the name of the liaison librarian and his contact information. The liaison librarians are the unsung heroes of academic research. They can be a great help to you when you want to know something specific about your discipline, because they aren't just librarians, they are librarians with a specialty in your discipline. So I will copy and paste Andrew Lee's name and contact information into my worksheet. The last source you will consult is the Hard Times Report from the Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce. This report is available in the lesson. Read the report so that you have a general idea of its findings. What main point does the report make about the relationship between what students major in and their employment opportunities once they graduate? Next, go to the table of data and look for your academic discipline. Note that the data is organized by larger disciplinary categories, and those categories are in alphabetical order. Some majors will be easy to find, but others will require some flexible thinking to locate. For example, computer science is not in engineering, and journalism is not in humanities and liberal arts. If you recall, philosophy is a discipline in the humanities, so I will start by looking there. And there it is, Philosophy and Religious Studies. This is the third time I have seen these two disciplines grouped together. If you see patterns like this emerging for your discipline, it might be a good idea to jot down a few notes about it. Now it's time to collect some data. Go to your worksheet and write down the unemployment data for your discipline. Enter all three unemployment rates: recent college grad, experienced college grad, and graduate degree holder. Next, write the earnings data for your discipline. Enter all three earnings categories: recent college grad, experienced college grad, and graduate degree holder. To compare the unemployment rates and earning power of your discipline to others, go to the appendices and find your larger disciplinary category. How employable will you be when you graduate? How much can you expect to earn? Students majoring in the humanities have a fairly high unemployment rate, but not as high as those who major in architecture or the arts. The earning power of humanities majors is also quite low. Only psychologists, social workers, and artists earn less, and they don't earn that much less. If you were to base your choice of academic major only on employment prospects and earning power, which one would you choose? Keep in mind that this data doesn't tell you everything there is to know about the relationship between your major and what you can do with it once you graduate, but it does give you a sense of where the demand is for certain majors. You are now finished with this exercise. Make sure you save your document using the file naming protocol listed in the assignment and then upload it to Blackboard by the due date.